Okay. I think I'm gonna
so.
call it today good because I think trying to do.
Okay, perfect. I was just looking for this for later.
So this is where I leave you for this evening. And I will catch you most likely.
So I have basically everything I need now for making these buttons and for finishing my vest. Esme over here is gonna have to move. Yes, you are. Get down. Yeah, this is my black tool tape. I do want to try to find. Oh, my hips. I want to try to find some twill tape that like that I can get in a huge roll, because the style of sewing that I've started doing now is a lot more historical, and I'm a lot bigger on trying to finish my seams and things and make everything look nice. So twill tape is definitely a nice thing for that. Okay, let us share. There we go. Oh my god, it's already 4:15, guys. I can't believe the day's gone by so fast. It's like ridiculous. All right. There we go. Thanks, Nat. Okay, so let us keep sewing and working and drinking our coffee so that we can stay awake. This fur is most likely going to come off of me any second because it's is warm. God, this lattes so much better. This is why Nick is like the best person in the world for giving me that friggin' that it's not even coffee. It is a latte, which means that it has espresso in it instead of coffee. And yeah, like Nick gave me that espresso machine, and like, love you, Nick. All right, I'm gonna put you guys up, and I'm gonna continue finishing sewing this. Here we go. Clamp. I think you're clamped tight enough now. And we're gonna... Oh, it's me. Why you gotta be on top? Okay, there we go. Well, you guys can see a little bit of my rainbow sock. Alright, there we go. You still doing your foot thing there, Jesse? If so, rainbow socks. Rainbow socks. Okay, time to take the fur off. I like to put stuff in here because then it's a lot easier to grab and throw out. With your height, you can actually get some at the Dollarama. That's where I got a lot of my socks. Now, these, like, they're high knee socks. So they're actually, like, they can go up to thigh, but they're actually considered knee socks. So, yeah. Though Sock Dream is like the best place for thigh highs, and I do plan on doing an order from them soon, getting some. You were just gonna steal mine. There we go. All right. So, just gonna try to find just something to play. Oh, the wild yeast pomegranate mead. Okay, let's give that one a try.
Wild pomegranate mead.
Did those stupid leaves ruin this one too?
Did those stupid leaves? Thigh high or bust.
This is. Jeez, I don't even know how old this is. It was bottled at the end of August, and we're now at the end of October, so it's about 2 months. But I think this sat for quite a long time. So this exact brew is probably 8-9 months old. However, we count it from the month, so it's 2 months old, which means it's been aging for 2 months. We chilled this one. That's why I'm all wet and sweaty.
But it is dark in color, yet very clear.
It's got a beautiful red color.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm starting to try to plan some like outfits for like
very strong
BDSM gear looks, you know, and I'm looking forward to planning that.
Tried to save by pulling them out quick. They got in there. Let's find out.
So I'm gonna have plenty of thigh highs at that point. Because you know me and thigh highs, I love them.
It's not bad though. It's like I like it.
You know how cranberry can be real tangy? It's like that. And Brian and I both happen to love cranberry juice.
Yeah.
If you're a person that doesn't love cranberry juice,
You may not like this.
this might not be for you.
However, the smells of the lime leaves a little too much, and we found out that they're not actually comfort lime. They're actually probably Rancor lime, as best we can tell, which I haven't seen anyone that actually uses those for anything. So, whatever. You know? But the smell is a little bit much with the lime. The taste, though, the two flavors melded together quite nicely.
Oh yeah, Star Wars socks would be really nice.
So this is 8.1% ABV. Not very high at all, but it's a wild ferment. You never know what you're going to get. It is not overly sweet.
No, but it's weird. It has tang and then sweet, and then tang, and then
Yeah.
sweet, and then tang, and then sweet.
There's a flavor that it reminds me of that I can't think
It
of what it
reminds
is.
me of like a sour apple candy.
Yes,
Like a
very
sour
much.
apple Jolly Ranchers.
Okay, I have to say I really like this.
It's really nice.
It's got such a strong flavor. This is not a wussy tasting mead at all.
It's not a wussy tasting mead.
Okay, there's flavor here. Holy crap! You know, it's good, guys.
I can't wait to make some more alcohol. I love alcohol making.
Oh boy,
The pomegranate is there, but it's not overly fruity. The lime leaves this time gave it a lime flavor, so it's like lime pomegranate together. That works really, really well. I'm shocked. I'm trying to come up with what my score's going to be.
we
I'm
were
afraid of
so
how-
irritated with those stupid lime leaves.
That-
We're not ever
I'm
using
thrilled to
them,
have one good one.
But
I'd make this again.
yes,
Exactly the way I did it. I would make this again. That's how good this is. So, the first question, is this a cook with only? Is it a drink with food only? Or is this a pour in a mug and enjoy?
I cannot imagine what you cook this with.
Nope, me either. And that's why I like to have those three categories, because there are wines and meats that we really love that we will cook with, and there's other ones that we really love that we won't cook with. This is one I don't know that I cook with it.
No.
Maybe a dessert or something. Like if I could boil it down to a syrup, maybe, but that's a different thing.
Yeah, a reduction is the only thing I could think of. But
Drinking it with food, though.
I see it more as a palate cleanser.
Yeah, like an aperitif after a course, maybe. It's not really the kind of thing that you're going to have with food, because it's not going to complement most food.
No.
It's all on its own. This is a pour in a mug and drink it, because I would totally do that. Like this is Yeah, with some fruits. Maybe even with like a cheese plate or something. You know, cheese and crackers. I can see this. That's about it though.
Yeah.
Maybe a dessert like something with raspberry in it or something like that. Maybe it would have to be something strong and rich to stand up this cheesecake. For some reason,
This is exciting. Like, I'm so close to being finished this.
Cheesecake really shouldn't be called cheesecake. It should be called cheese pie. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Alright.
But that's a whole other show.
Now we have to do numbers.
I may have to do something. When I give a score, I am taking into account many things. One of them being, is there room for improvement? Is there something I could have done or could do next time to change this and make it better?
No.
Is there something I could do to make it better? How good is it? Meaning, there are just some meats that I don't like. No matter what I do to them, I'm not going to like them. It's just a flavor combo I don't like. So that would get a lower score because I just didn't personally like it. If it's something that I like, then I look at it and say, could I have done something or can I do something that would make this better? That's where I am. And how much do I enjoy the experience of it? How complex is it? Is there a lot going on? Now, before I give a score, I want to talk about that.
For me, if I were to make this again and I would want to improve
Just sit,
it,
guys.
I would want to take the lime note down
A little bit.
just a little bit.
A little bit.
And
I would
I'm
use less.
wondering if we would use the juice of our limes rather than
I
the
would
leaves
use the zest.
or the zest. Sure.
The
Yeah.
peel.
Yeah.
Totally use the peel. Now, I'm taking all that into consideration. What I like about this, though, is as you take it in, you're immediately hit with the zing of that lime.
Yeah.
And then the tartness, the cranberry-like quality to the pomegranate. Then when it gets in your mouth,
There we go. Sorry, guys. My mom just messaged.
and this is just thick. It's not thick, obviously, but it feels like biscuits in the mouth. And then as it goes down, it's a little bit acidic, kind of bright feeling, and it's very crisp. It's just, it's on. It's a short finish, which I usually like longer finishes. I like ones that stick with it.
But I'm retaining the fruity notes.
I get a little bit of that. I get a little bit of the zing from the lime, too. Yeah. I have my score. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 9.
Whoa,
I
that was
almost
close.
gave it a 10. Yes. And if you've heard me talk about this before, 10 means it cannot be improved. There's nothing I can do. She said it. A little bit less lime. And I mean, I'm talking 10 to 20% less.
Yeah.
Not much. And this would have been a 10. So to go from something that we were like, oh my God,
To be like, woohoo!
that this is one of the best meats we've made. This is by far, well, not by far, this is one of the best meats we've tasted and reviewed. It's the highest score we've ever given. We've never given it 17.
I think it's because it's so unique. Like,
Yeah.
pomegranate itself is a very unique flavored fruit, in my opinion.
I want to point something out. The leaves and the honey were the source of yeast for this meat. So if we didn't put the leaves in, we might have had less activity from the yeast. So they are part of this meat, and that gets taken into account in my score too.
I'm curious what it would be like if we did it with just the zest and the pomegranate and actually used the yeast.
We might try that because the pomegranate is nice. I never really had pomegranate before. Like I had pomegranates, but I never actually had it. I wasn't familiar with it, but now that I've tried it, I
It's
really like it.
nice.
I think pomegranate hibiscus.
Ooh.
Yeah, because the citrus notes with the
Okay, so I love hibiscus in almost anything. So the idea of pomegranate hibiscus. Mm-hmm.
Just look right here. We have more.
my first meat.
How's it taste? All right. So this is now in the bottle almost 2 months, and that's on purpose. A lot of people have been asking about it. I don't like to drink mead when it's too young. And this one I know is good at a month or two. So we gave it a little bit of time. And we've been busy, okay? Give you a little taste there. However, that said, I have actually drank a bottle of this already. So I'm not going to let that change my judgment today. I'm going to be completely impartial. I almost got it out without that. Alright, so first, this has been chilled, so you will see some
It is
misting in the glass.
nice and
It
clear.
is super crystal clear. I mean, that is clarity to be jealous of.
And it's that beautiful golden ambery color, very reminiscent of honey, which primarily
Yeah,
the
this is
ingredient honey.
we call this a traditional mead. Now, there's really no such thing as a traditional mead. Okay, mead was made all different kinds of ways by all different kinds of people, and they used whatever they had. Now, this one is basically just some raisins, a little bit of lemon zest, or no, orange zest, raisins, a little bit of orange zest, and honey, and that's about it. So there's really not a lot of tea. We use tea. So there should be a little bit of the sweetness of the raisin, the complexity of the raisin. That's where the color is coming from. It's the raisins. The orange give just a little bit of a citrus hit, and the tea should give it some complexity in mouthfeel.
That said, everything that was added in small amounts and was just used to enhance the natural flavors found in the honey itself. So we are using it to make it a more complex beverage, but we still want it to be primarily honey forward.
And based on the smell alone, it totally is.
Yes. That's lovely.
This smells amazing. A lot of people talk about there's a few basic meads out there for recipes, and I made this one to be that. And personally, I feel this is a lot easier than some of the others out there. I'm not trying to trash anybody, but this is easier to make than some of the others. It's not as fiddly about certain things, and it's ready in like 4 weeks. It's good, really good after like 3 months, but it's ready in 4 weeks or so. Not that time should be your first factor when you're thinking about it.
So aroma, you definitely get the honey,
Yep.
and then if you
Slight orange
search for
tinge.
it, you can get a little residual of the other notes, like the
I
orange.
get a little bit of the raisin.
Right, a little bit of the raisin.
Raisins don't really do much other than add sweetness and complexity to a brew, and that's why we use them. I just like the way they taste. Okay, that's the short sip. Right off the bat. This is good. This is really good.
The reason why we take that quick first short sip is to get our palate acclimated to this particular beverage. So any harshness from the alcohol in particular, our body's gonna be like, all right, I got that note now. I can move forward and find out what's actually represented.
Now this is only 11.3%. I say wines in general can range from 9 to 14% commercial wine. I consider mead to be a wine-like product, not exactly a wine. So it's right in that range. I also like my meads between 11 and 14% typically. 12 to 15, 11 to 15, somewhere in that is perfect. This is on the low end of that scale. I don't really taste alcohol. But what I do get is there's this tiny little taste that I get all the time from a naturally fermented honey in the back of my throat. It's almost a bitter flavor, but it's not objectionable. Just, you know it's there. It's kind of like if you take extra virgin olive oil, you know it's the real stuff when you get that little bitter flavor in the back. It actually adds to the experience for me. It doesn't take away. And this, again, I got a little bit of the citrus hit. I got a little bit of the raisin. The tea added a nice mouthfeel. Yeah, this is
Yay!
My longer sip while Brian was talking. So
Last step for the vest itself, we're going to be adding the twill tape. Just folding this edge lightly. I'm going to put it right here.
It's not overly strong. It's just interesting that I'm getting that from this because I don't always get it from our meats. But then I'm definitely getting that rich depth of honey profile throughout it, and I really attribute that to a little bit of citrus in the tea and the
I just want to, there's like a spot here that I just kind of want tightened a little bit here.
I know I've said it before in talking about raisins. Raisins add this odd, unexplainable note that
best statement I can make about this is the most complex, rich, simple meat. There's not a lot in there, so everything has to be done just right. And that recipe I fine-tuned over the years, so it's gotten better and better. You know, it's very, very simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. I love this stuff.
You know, those of you that drink whiskey when you're enjoying a really good whiskey, in the mouth it has one profile, and then when you finally swallow it, it changes and it does something a little different. This is doing that for me as well, and I'm finding that really interesting. And so once I've completed my enjoyment of the beverage, it has that different note. It lingers a little bit, but not too long, so it doesn't have an extensive finish.
It's a medium to long finish.
But
I wouldn't say it's short.
But it's there long enough for you to appreciate it.
I'm still working after finishing that. So what I get is the initial, as it comes in, I get that burst of honey and orange, and it's just awesome right away. But it's not overly sweet either.
No, it's kind of like ripe fruit that's just ripe.
Yeah.
It's not overripe, it's just ripe, so it's that burst, like
Then
Brian was saying.
immediately the tannins of the tea take over and take the sweetness level down to something really like quite manageable. And then on the finish, it just like coats your mouth with this flavor that is that natural fermented honey thing, but I still get the richness of it as it's going down, and then breathing back and forth a few times for like 30 seconds after, I'm still kind of tasting that. That's complexity and depth of flavor, and that's what meats all
I'm
about.
probably gonna have to put a small piece like right here, because that's still raw and I can't fully cover it, like even if I go here. And I want all of this to be nice and clean so that, you know, I can throw it in the wash if needed and not have to worry about anything.
No. This is very approachable. Very approachable. Okay, so what would you actually first? Is this a cook with it only, drink it with food, or pour a glass and enjoy it?
I think it's food, borderline, enjoy alone.
I would cook with it first. Use it like a white wine. I would totally cook with it. I'm not saying it's relegated to only cooking. I'm just saying I like it and I would use it that way. I would drink this with food, and I would pour a mug of this and sit by the TV or a fire and enjoy it.
Which he has.
Yes.
A whole bottle of it.
This is one of my favorite meats that we make, so it's not really a surprise. The fact that it's simple and we promote it to people who've never made meat before should not take away from the fact that it's that good. Right? That's what I want to make clear. Food pairings, though, what would you eat this with?
Turkey.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
I could see this
Turkey and stuffing, mashed potatoes.
with the Thanksgiving dinner,
Yeah.
yes.
It's similar enough to a sweeter white wine. That pretty much what you would drink a sweet white wine with, you would do this with. I would do this with like shrimp scampi.
You don't need to put a shrimp scampi.
No, I usually say an aioli sauce. I've never said shrimp scampi. Somebody's gonna check me on that, but I don't believe I've ever said shrimp scampi.
Scampi normally has garlic.
A lot of garlic, and I think this would go really well with garlic.
Yeah.
There's that extra little flavor.
So good.
Not a lot of white wine to me goes really good with garlic. Or not a lot of light meats go with garlic. White wine does, but mead doesn't always. The honey garlic.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to
But this one
like have this here and then actually go up and put another one here because it's not covering
Okay, so
the
we
whole
have to
thing.
give this a score. So that means 1 through 10. Do you need more? I can refill your glass. There's still a little bit left in the bottle. So 1 means you wouldn't serve it to your worst enemy. 10 means it's absolutely perfect. There's nothing to change. We have a number in mind. I'll do the countdown.
Okay.
You ready? 1, 2, 3, 9. That's right. I said 9. That's how much I like this. I can still see there's probably room for improvement.
Oh,
It's not perfect. That's why I
actually,
say 9, even though one of my favorites.
we'll cover all of it.
I improved it. So if it was judging specifically on what would you do to improve it, then I would score it much higher. It's just my personal preferences.
Yeah, she likes things a little more fruity than I do. I like a simpler, more straight meat. Or I like it really fruity. One of the two. It really depends on my mood.
Yoy.
This one and the spice method one. I'll reach for either of those any given day of the week. Those would be the two that I would go to.
Where I typically go towards the wines.
The blueberries, red stuff. See, everybody makes fun of me for all my red meats, but they're not even the ones that I reach for. They're not even the ones I go for. Personally, I just think this is awesome. If you have yet to make this meat, please go do it. And if you like this video, just look up right there. There's another one.
I'm sure I'm not like going too crazy. No, looks nice and clean.
Traditional meat, just a straight up.
Let's see here. Let's see what Hoffman has to say today. He's one of the YouTubers that I enjoy for coffee information.
And my new Buick Encore GX is helping me balance it all. Plus that, order puppy food. I'm Tessa Virtue, and this is my Encore GX.
Why do they go from like low to really high?
Brewing method that I'm using right now, something that I'm favoring right now. It's not the best brew method, it's not the ultimate brew method, it's just something that I'm enjoying. And in this one, it led me to an experiment that I think is worth sharing, and I think is super interesting too. So right now, I am brewing a lot with this. It's the Harrier Switch. It's Harrier's answer to the Clever coffee dripper. Now the Clever I've been using a lot at home because I'm trying to work on my brew guide for the Clever. And one of the challenges with this brewer is the drawdown time. Now the way it works is very simple. You put a filter paper in, you put coffee and water in, you let it steep, because at the bottom there's a little stopper that only opens when you put it on a cup and then it drains out. I really like steep and release brewers. I like them a lot. This combination of infusion at the start, where the coffee and water just hangs out together, with this kind of percolation, paper separation phase, I just like the end results a lot. Now in my research and testing, I thought it would be interesting to compare the Clever to the Harrier Switch. Now the way that it works is a little bit different to how the Clever works. This has a kind of metal ball bearing acting as a kind of stopper right at the bottom. When you push the switch, it pops the ball bearing up and your coffee drains out. But really, it is a glass V60 in the base here, and I thought that was interesting to test. But it led me to test with other filter papers to try and find faster drawdowns, and that led me to an interesting result. I know you probably have questions about this jumper. You are going to have to wait to the end of the video for that. To illustrate my point, to start us off, I'm going to brew a simple brew with this thing using the tabbed bagged Harrier filters. I think that's a good benchmark, and I'll talk you through how I brew the Switch. It is different so far into how I'm brewing the Clever, so it's not a kind of one-for-one here. I'll be brewing 15 grams of coffee to 250 grams of water, and I'll be running a 2-minute steep, a little stir, and a drain. Let's do that now. Now I kind of do a bloomer phase at the moment, which is just add 2 to 1, and then give it a little swirl, just to kind of get rid of any pockets of dry coffee before I infuse as a whole. Now, as I said, I do like infusion brewing. You can just let coffee and water steep, and you're not worried about evenness of extraction. As long as all of the coffee is kind of getting wet, there's no pockets of dry coffee anywhere, you're having a pretty even extraction. And that's good, because with percolation, like a pour over or espresso, you're worried about evenness, you're worried about channeling. All of those things are a concern. Generally, I've been grinding pretty fine for this, just a little bit finer in some cases than kind of my cupping setting, because I've been sort of steeping for just 2 minutes before beginning the drawdown process. What I'll do then, I'll give it a little stir one way and the other, like in a V60, and then I'll drain it out. I'll flip the switch, and away we'll go. So with this, initially the drawdown is pretty fast, and then it begins to slow down and almost choke a little bit. And And you think it's going to take 30 seconds to drain, but it doesn't. It takes much longer than that. And what's likely happening is very fine particles are clogging the filter paper up, making it difficult for the liquid to pass through. And I had wondered, if that's the case, how much of the problem is the paper versus the bed? If this could happen faster, would it still taste really good? So we're done. That is about a 2-minute 10 drawdown phase. We're at sort of 4 minutes 25 total brew time, which is a pretty long, slow brew time. And there's something about a slow drawdown that's just infuriating to me. It's just maddening to watch this thing happen very slowly. But if I wanted that bit to go faster, well, the question I had to answer was how much extraction am I doing in the infusion phase and how much am I doing in the percolation phase?
So this part here is actually very, very, very clean. I technically wouldn't even need to go all the way there, but I'm just going to do it so that it just looks good and even if somebody's like, you know, looking on the inside of the vest.
I'll let it rest for some 15 seconds to have some of that bed fall to the bottom, and then I'm going to make a terrible mess.
Not that I'm planning on entering a costume contest with this, but it's always nice to have good finishes.
Through this B60 paper here to sort of, you know, clarify a little bit to strain out whatever fines are suspended in there, but sort of skip the step where it flows through the bed. So, wish me luck.
I know, right? It's because Claire is due to come in really soon, so they're like kind of pacing back and forth, waiting for their mama to come home.
As usual. While this drains, I'll clean this up and we'll be back.
So all you hear is click, 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 click.
Just the motion phase with a little bit of straining happening there, just to get rid of the fines and that kind of stuff.
Do you like the color of my vest? Like, I don't know, on camera, I just really love the look of that red back with that reddish brown plaid.
Gives a refractive index of the liquid. It tells us how much stuff is dissolved in the coffee liquid, and we can calculate back from that how much of the ground coffee we extracted into the liquid that we're going to drink. So a little stir. You do want to stir your filter coffee if you're testing it, much like you want to stir your espresso. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a video up here. You take a drop, place it on the sensor, and a wave test. Now the absolute number is not super important here. Yes, this is a percentage that suggests a good extraction, but that's not really the point. The point is the difference between the two. So here, about 1.35, it's coming up pretty consistently.
Yes. Is there, like, how would it be? Just that it keeps, like, skipping from one to the other, or it shows two camera views?
Now, you might argue that 0.3 is not a huge difference of anything, but it turns out in good coffee, that is a big difference. Well, let's taste them.
Because I want to get the DSLR to webcam hookup really soon.
Super balanced, nice clarity, nice acidity. It's yummy, basically.
And then there could be one that kind of shows like me like front wise and one overhead. And the front wise, yeah, it will definitely show pets. If you have any like video tutorials somewhere online that shows like how to do the dual camera thing for Twitch, let me know, because I'd like to look that up.
There is something particularly useful about infusion brews for having what feels like a nice texture, nice mouthfeel to your coffee very easily. I think this kind of makes sense of those moments when someone grinds quite coarsely for a French press but still has a pretty good result. I think something about the infusion brewing that has a kind of tolerance of grind size that can quite easily get you to something pretty good. I think that's interesting. But this cup is unquestionably better.
Yeah.
Right? There's no question at all in my mind. This is more complex, sweeter, more enjoyable, better finish. Everything about it is better. This is just surprisingly not bad. It's just not great either, though. So now I want to talk about the Sybarist papers. These are really interesting. I actually made a very rare Patreon-only video comparing these and a few other kind of third-party V60 filters, so I haven't looked at them before. But they are fast flow filters. They allow coffee to drain through the paper much quicker by being more porous. When you brew with these, you get a little bit of sediment in the cup. They're closer to a very
God, I'm so excited about getting this vest finished.
That's where they are. They don't do the clarity of cloth, but they still taste kind of like a paper filter. They're really interesting. They're also really expensive, and I'm also aware a Harrier Switch is a little bit expensive, and I'm very lucky that I can play with these, and I hope my experiments yield some interesting learning. So I should acknowledge that these are expensive, both the brewer and the papers. Before I brew with these, though, and talk about why I think it's so interesting, there's a couple things to take care of. Firstly, this video has an ad in it, which means it also has a grinder giveaway. Right now, for every sponsored video, I'm giving away 5 Baratza Encores, trying to give them to people who could really do with a great grinder in their life. If you can afford a grinder right now, and you need one, please just go
Yeah,
find
that
your
would be
local
really
business.
cute.
Support your local businesses right now more than
Gotta
ever.
love the
If you're out
pets.
of work, down in your luck, if life
I don't
is
know.
hard,
I don't know how anyone
and
gets
grinder will
anything
improve your
done
life.
without
Enter
pets.
the conversation down below. You need to be
Even if
involved
they
in
do
30
get
days
into
in a
everything.
world where we can get you a grinder and warranty it afterwards with Baratza's support. So if you're not interested, I'm sorry we can't do something for you. Click that link down below. It's free to enter, and I wish you the best of luck. And this is possible because this
What the
video
fuck?
does have an ad in it. It's sponsored by Morning Brew. Morning Brew is a witty, useful, relevant newspaper that appears in your inbox.
I don't know why that started randomly,
And
but
it's free. I've actually been signed up for nearly 2 years now, and it is a great way to start the day. It's easy to wake up and just become instantly overloaded by news, finance, tech, all of this kind of stuff going on, but I like having something I can sit down and read.
I kind of really want to get a membership to Skillshare,
And I like it not just because it's digestible, neat pieces of news I can consume,
so I can like learn a pile of different stuff.
but because it doesn't take everything too seriously. It's fun as well. There are book recommendations in there, and often little trivia games and other things, just to get the brain going in the morning. And like I said, it's free. So if you're interested in business or tech or finance, click the link down below. It takes less than 15 seconds, and you can subscribe to Morning Brew today. Thanks to them for sponsoring this video.
Yeah, if you find a good wireless one, let me know, because that would interest me too.
We'll let this steep again.
Because obviously I want to use my DSLR for a good, like a good overhead, you know?
And we're done. A little bit under 45 seconds, which is
Have you tried bitter apple for the cables?
leaves me with a whole bunch of questions. If this drains really fast, are we missing out on contact time? Are we reducing our contact time and therefore dramatically reducing our extraction? At 45 seconds, it's nearly a minute and a half faster as a brew or shorter as a brew than with the regular Harrier papers. What's that going to do? And also, if these papers are more porous, am I likely to see some bypass happening? Is liquid flowing out of the paper because it can quite easily instead of down through the bed? Is that going to drop my extraction a lot as well? Is there any one way to find out? Let's measure it. Now, like I said, this does have a little bit more sediment in the brew, so having stirred it, I'm going to just decant a little bit through a new paper just to clarify.
Yeah, bitter apple usually works pretty well. There are the rare cases of some pets who actually like the taste, or just don't react to it and just keep going. But in general, especially if you like start early enough that they haven't developed too much of a habit, bitter apple works amazing. And it's only like $12, maybe $13 for a bottle, and the bottle usually lasts a long time. I think Claire's here.
Well, it's not really damaging to the brew overall. How's the taste? It's very good. It does have that nice immersion extraction profile that I really like. It's just very tasty, nice clarity, nice acidity. Would I go a little bit finer? I might actually. Just
Yeah, that definitely sounds like her.
Closer to the Harrier paper, it would need maybe one tiny notch finer on a grinder. I really would worry about this longer brew time from a finer grind or a longer drawdown, because these drawdowns are so fast because of these papers. So you get, I think, a great result from a very enjoyable brew method. It's kind of easy to dial in. You get this nice immersion.
Yeah, everything else is great except for that one little spot here. And even that's not that bad. See? Like, there you go. See? It's not that bad either, but I kind of want to put just another little square right there. Hello?
I hope they grow and into what they're doing. I don't want to use Cerberus for everything. And sometimes I do want more clarity and more filtration.
Yeah, but just once.
I do like using them as a student release.
Oh yeah. Though Cody did poop on the floor over here, but I cleaned it up.
As a brew tool, it is so cheap, so easy to use, and it makes great coffee. But that's for another time. I did say I would tell you about this delightful jumper, and now is the time. At 10,000, we decided we would do an ugly coffee.
They're excited because it's feeding time. They usually get their food when Claire leaves for work, and then when she comes home from work, they get a feed too. It's just their schedule. I'm almost finished everything but the buttons on this vest. So I'm like super excited. Hence, like I'm sitting here live on Twitch. Just get... Huh? Oh, no, it's okay. Mom messaged me. She's in town. Oh, she doesn't want to drive. She's got Victor. But I owe her $20. So she wanted the money and she wanted to meet up for it. And we do have to go to the bank so I can put the check in. So that we'll have the full amount. So that I can give you money towards bills. So, figured at the same time I could be like, well, just meet us at the bank. You know what I mean? That's okay. Oh, I said I figured like we could just be like, well, meet us at the bank since we got to go to the bank to cash my check anyway. Because it's a government check, so I shouldn't have any problems with them cashing it directly instead of holding it.
When does the bank close?
I think it's 6 o'clock. I hope to God it's 6 o'clock. 6 or 7. Do you have your phone on you? Do you want to just look it up? You okay?
Yeah, what bank?
It is the Scotia Bank on Main. Unless the COVID hours changed, but...
Traditional kind, what Kickstarter was set up for, which is they want to make a thing, they've got a prototype, but they can't afford some of the cost of manufacturing.
Closed? Okay. Well, I can cash it on the app. It's just, it's going to hold a little bit of it. And then as soon as it goes through, I'll give it to you. Sound good to you? Okay. Love you.
Love you too.
I missed you. Yeah, I'm not babysitting today. I'm going to babysit tomorrow instead. Just, I was like, can I just have a day to recover? Like, I just told her, like, I had a pretty big depressive episode and I'm still kind of, and she's like, oh yeah, that's fine. Like, she gets it. She gets mental health. So, and, you know, so long as she gets that day to unwind, you know, like, I don't want to take that away from her. So I was like, yeah, I can do it, you know, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And usually I end up finishing around 7 or 8. So even if we want to do something this weekend, we still can. It's not, so, you know. You're like, yeah. Look at look at how beautiful the color of this vest looks on camera. Like, well, it's pretty like that in person too, but do you want to see what it looks like on the inside now? Okay, so wiggle. All right, so this is the inside right now. Yeah, see, so there's the lining. This is the lining that doesn't match because I lost the other piece, but you know, it's all
It's gonna be on the inside anyway.
Yeah, it's not like the end of the world. Oh, I'm just gonna fix this little, and then whoops. And then this is the other side here. There's just like a little bunch here, but even that's not that bad. It's not going to be seen. And then there's the collar, all stitched.
Right on.
And then now I'm just doing the stay tape, the twill tape.
Yeah.
And then I think just because, like I said, the reason I'm doing this is because if I want to throw it in the wash or anything like that, I want to make sure that there's not going to just be a stuff that keeps spraying and fraying.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just going to put one little piece here just to cover that. Yep. And then other than that, I am basically ready for buttons. And I found my buckles. So these are a pile of vintage buckles. Most of them are women's like belts, but I have like suspender buckles. I need to make myself some suspenders now. But I think one of these should be wide enough I'm hoping for the back piece.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops. And then these are like just, you know, wooden things.
Yeah.
So my friend told me that if I can use an X-Acto blade and cut that there, it'll like just the between the two buttons.
Right.
I can use these to cover them in fabric and make death heads buttons with gold. And I bought a pile of gold thread, so then I can literally have the gold. So these will make it really look like an accurate historical, right?
Right.
She's like, love me, please.
I love it. I pick her up and she like closes her eyes.
I know. This is so cute. All right, let's test that out before I finish the twill tape. Well, I know we're going to have to go soon-ish there, but I'd rather let you sit down and breathe for a bit first.
Yeah.
You know?
Long day and didn't get much sleep last night.
Yeah. How was it the machine or was it the pupper?
Was it what?
Was it the machine or the pupper?
A little column A, a little column B, and plus my legs and back were bothering me. I was awake between 2 and 3, but I had a hard time falling asleep with that machine at first.
Yeah, no, I remember the night that I slept with that. Oh, I'm gonna need a wider. Yeah, because I'm not taking this in. So, but anyway, that's fine because I'll go at some point to Dollarama to Fabricville and just grab one. But this is a mother of pearl freaking belt buckle. Look at it. See the sheen?
Nice.
Like, it's amazing. Like, these were all from that box of vintage buttons and things that I bought for like $60. I remember because I went and I did drag for Pride in Miramichi, and then Chris and Rick, the Chris is Miss Chinchilla. Anyway, they've been like the big organizers for the Miramichi Pride, and they're the ones who brought like the first drag show Miramichi's ever seen and all that. And but anyway, they invited me and I didn't have a drive, so they were like, well, we'll pick you up, you can stay at our place. And like, you know, I can't wait for you to meet Chris and Rick. Like, I love them with my whole being. Like, there's just words cannot express how much I love those guys. Like, they're just so sweet, so generous, so loving, so just everything, you know. And but anyway, as we were driving back, there was a place that said vintage, you know, or vintage or antiques, and I think Rick is the one who was like, oh, let's stop, because they have an old house and they actually have like legit antiques that they, you know, they keep an eye out and they buy stuff and they put it in their house to decorate and stuff, right? Which is what I would love to do. You know, you go to places like that, you go to estate sales, things like that, you slowly but surely buy stuff a piece at a time as you get deals. You know, you don't have to pay a fortune, hundreds and hundreds of dollars. You know, you slowly but surely get stuff. Sometimes they're a little bit rough and you know, give them some love and paint them and sand them and, you know. But anyway, as I was there, I just randomly was like, do you got any sewing stuff, buttons, patterns, books? And he showed me the box, and you could tell, like, he was like reluctant at first to sell them, because he was like, you can sell small bags of buttons for like $10-15 or whatever. And I just looked at him and I could tell, oh my God, if I try to come back for buttons later on, I'm going to be paying out the nose.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, how much did you pay for it? And he's like, well, we bought the can and the can and the buttons for $60. And then he's like, we just sold the can for $30. And I was like, well, tell you what, I will give you $60 for all of the buttons. That's exactly how much you made for it. And you just happen to have made an extra $30 on that can. And he like just kind of looked at me for a second. And then finally he was like, okay. So, and it was worth it because, like I said, there was legit vintage buckles in it. There was like military buttons. There's all sorts of beautiful pieces in it. And sets too. Like there's a few really cute little sets in there. You okay? Just hard day. Yeah.
What?
Just hard day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Third day, not much sleep.
Yeah.
And then those 2 bills that came in.
Yeah. Was it the 2 bills from Rogers?
Well, one was Rogers, which was like $3.21.
Yeah.
Because they said I didn't return the modem. I
Yeah.
did.
Like, I will get, like, we will call them together, but, like, I'll do the talking if you want. Like, I can, you've never seen me turn bitch, but, like, I'm always, like, very much a you will get more by being nice, but if I gotta be mean, I'll be mean. So don't worry, we'll get that resolved.
Yeah.
And,
The phone bill.
The phone bill? So what was that?
That was like $2.25 or something.
Okay.
For our phones.
Both the phones? Now, was there any, like, surcharges on it?
Well, there was the $20, just setup fee.
Setup fee, yeah.
But yeah, everything else was legit. Like I pay $116 for my phone.
Yeah, and then the extra was...
Your phone.
How much was the extra for me?
I'll show you the bill there.
Yeah. But, like, don't stress out about that. That's my bill. I'm paying that.
Yeah,
that one...
You're tight on funds this month.
No, but I'm not... Okay, the thing is, I'm not tight on funds this month. I'm getting money. I'm getting good money. Okay, I'm getting more than enough, and that's like, and I know it's the like anxiety of like as soon as you see it, you're like, oh my god, and then you freak out, right?
Yeah, admittedly, that's what I'm doing.
That's what's happening. No, I know, and I get it. I get anxiety. I get mental health stuff. Like, don't worry about that. Okay, I am getting, and that's what I was explaining earlier. Like, I'm not only. Am I getting, like, I'm getting the $7.48 for babysitting. I'm getting my, like, 3-something for widow's pension.
Yeah, sorry, I'm forgetting we're on Twitch.
Oh,
sorry.
no, it's okay. But, like, they don't care. It's, like, the ones watching right now are literally, like, Jesse and Nat, and, like, there's a third person, which I think maybe is Ray.
Hello.
Like, I don't know. They're not really chatting on it. But, yeah, like, keep in mind, like, that... Plus, I'm going to be getting another 2 weeks before the end is finished of working. That's like 6-something, like almost 700, plus 14 hours that they owe me. Right? I'm getting more than enough to pay the bills that I have to pay this month, pay you back my pills and that $60 there that from that package, and pay for what I owe for the month coming up. Right? Like, don't worry about that. Okay? Like, I know it's just that 1 minute of like, oh my god, you know. Plus the last 200 that's coming up for my shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was just like a moment of panic when I saw that. I was like, what do you mean? I have $20 left in my bank account. Like,
yeah. Like, I've already used all my overdraft and things are going on my cards, and it's over 4,000 now.
Yeah, no. But make sure though that when I give you money, it goes directly to your credit card.
Oh hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah. Like, yeah, because the only thing, like, I'm gonna basically like give you my pay, right? Except for like a little bit that I gotta pay back. Like, I gotta pay the girl who I have drives with.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But instead of paying her 60 something, I just gotta pay her 40 because she didn't drive me part of the week. And I gotta pay 20 to mom.
Yeah.
And I gotta send a little bit of money to Rosemary for the fur thing. Right?
Oh right. I forgot about the fur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I said, like don't.
Yeah, sorry. It's not one. It's just a combination of being tired and then something.
And then the stress. Yeah, no, I've had that happen before where like I just freaking panicked and it's like your brain does not want to think smartly about anything, you know?
Oh geez, yeah, I saw that like 321. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And keep in mind that is not something that you are going to have to pay.
Well, I wonder though, because like I know we were close to the deadline, but I mean,
so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And worse comes to worse.
Yeah.
There's ways around it. Listen.
So I do have the receipt and picture of the box with the return stuff on it.
Yeah. And do you remember if you have the days before we even call, okay?
Yeah. Oh, I'll get the dates.
We are going to look at the dates, the date that we called in, the date that we had to have it sent by.
Yeah.
If it's a day or two late, there are certain exceptions that they will make where they will waive it.
So we're kind of moving and stuff.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah,
like,
that probably wouldn't fly. Yeah.
No, not that part, but don't worry.
Look at this cat.
I know.
Yeah. You enjoy my shoulders?
And like, yeah, I will like nicely ask to speak to supervisor. Worst comes to worst. I won't be that asshole who's gonna be a jerk.
Oh, no.
Hi, Geisa. Not unless they sass me.
Oh, look at the tail go.
Hello.
What is it with Geisa?
Yeah, the only time I've ever been mean is when they sass me. And usually that's like, sometimes I'll get a guy and for some reason they'll talk down to me and I'll be like,
That's what I
oh,
usually get.
don't you effing dare talk down to me. Cause yeah, I've worked call centers my whole life. Like I get that, you know, I get the rules and the thing and, you know.
Yeah. And like even if you get charged a late fee or something, like $200 though, like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, and especially since it's like, no, I sent it back.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure you can track it.
Yeah.
I've got a tracking number on it. So,
Yeah.
Let me get this cat off my shoulders.
And like right now with the COVID thing, like I'm sure they do have stuff like in like the being late to the warehouse. Sometimes that happens too where it's like they go by the day that it's scanned in the warehouse.
Right.
So it automatically will be charged to your account, but when so when you call and they see that, no, you did send it back, it just took a while for the mail to receive it, then they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, and then they'll refund it.
Okay, cool.
I dealt a lot with that with cell phone, right? Because we had issues with that because Bell's warehouse was shit. And they wouldn't fucking scan the stuff into it, right? And it's like, seriously? Like, so we'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, and then, you know, refund it.
I just gotta run the car for a second. I think I left my phone in there.
Yeah. Jesse says, no one is allowed to be mean to you. That's my job.
Awesome.
Lady Godiva. Okay, guys, like, look at what she's doing. She's rubbing against my laptop, and she's literally making the screen go down.
I'm not sure that's fine. How is that? Why is that? Why does this grinder?
Lady Godiva. Stop. Stop. Cody! Which box? Okay, well then we'll just go through the box and empty it as fast as possible. I'm almost finished this twill tape. Let me just finish this and then we'll, I'll go and we'll go through the box together, okay?
Do this, obviously, unplug it. So to start with, you just take off the front plate here. So you take off the first four screws.
Leading it up. No.
That allows this plate to come off, and that allows you then to get
She's rubbing against my feet now.
that
Cat! Oh, no, Lady Godiva is just rubbing against stuff and knocking it down.
So this grinder is the moving burr here. It's driven by the motor.
No. Jesus Christ. She's like, fuck me. Fucking cat. Stop.
Is that it's the gap between the burrs that determines the grind size. Here, it's a little bit different.
Just checked. It looks like you just got the corner blocks.
Okay, good.
Away
we're not
from
too
the
bad.
cutting
Okay.
surface here. And this actually prevents the burrs from getting too close before they start to touch. They're called
For a little
interlocking
dash, you sure
burrs.
has a big
Because
bladder.
the nature
Oh, yeah.
design of the cutting,
You should have seen Henry.
you can't
Yep.
get the
Oh my god, that dog peed like a racehorse.
It's actually a relatively coarse grind. With regular flat burrs, when they're almost touching, that's when you're producing this super fine grind. It's kind of the super fine grind, or even the finest.
Hey! No! Lady Godiva! No! Sorry guys, she's just, she's trying to use her claws on Claire's chair.
People have already started changing.
Thank you.
Burr manufacturer from Korea produces burrs that fit this grinder that are brew-focused flat burrs that will allow you to go much finer than the stock burrs would do. However, you'd be taking a $300 grinder and spending another $190 to upgrade it. In the future, I might look at that combination and how it fares at, say, $500 compared to other $500 grinders. But for now, we're really reviewing this as a stock item. And so for me, I really don't understand the decision to go with interlocking burrs on this particular grinder. I reached out to fellow and asked them this particular question. At the time of recording, they hadn't Paris bows, they liked this one the best. And secondly, they did taste testing too. And again, they liked the interlocking set the best. They do acknowledge that it doesn't go super fine, and they said they're going to work on some new bows that will be available to Kickstarter backers at a deeply discounted rate. Coming in the future.
Can I bring my phone in here?
I don't know.
So just bear all this in mind as you watch the rest of the video.
Where's
Now,
your phone?
I will be doing one more
Right here.
video with this grinder before I give it away. I'll compare it to the Wolfie uniform.
Oh, jeez. You know what? I gotta get a new case for this thing. A black
Yeah.
case where most of my product, most of my like desk and stuff is black.
Yeah, get yourself something. You could get a case that's you know, your hockey team.
This grinder after that is
True.
given away
That is
to
true.
supporters. They give me a budget each month to go out and buy these things and review them. And I'm not relying on manufacturers' freebies or loaners. I can give you an honest and unbiased review. And let's summarize the review of this thing here. It's $300, and I think that puts it at an interesting price point. From a features perspective,
So
it's powerful.
close to
You know,
finish.
it's nice that it has an edge on. I think that's good.
This is so exciting, Claire.
Super accurate. That doesn't
This is the first time that I've ever done like a full garment, fully lined, professionally tailored. Like these are like tailoring techniques, right?
Yeah.
So like this is just so cool to me.
blind setting experience. The grinding experience is mostly good. It's a pretty
Well,
messy
that's working
grinder.
out.
I'd say it's a
Hmm?
touch messy.
Glad it's working out.
I think we're at about that same price point. But they are not perfect by any stretch. But it is a little bit
Close?
messy when it comes to stuff.
What?
Close?
I'm not sure what happened there. They probably got knocked down
Uh,
while I was like looking for stuff, or maybe the cat.
oh, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You bro.
Yeah, those are things I have to put away, those jeans, because those are jeans to shrink into.
Yeah.
So I gotta look
I
at
gotta
that.
go through a bunch of stuff too.
Yeah. Well, like this weekend we can do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so one last little piece here, and then I'm done in here.
It has a lot of positives going for it. I think they've tried to pack it full of detail, though it hasn't always, I think, worked out as well as they might have hoped. There's tons of information from Fellow on the website about maintenance. It's pretty easy to get into, to look after. It's easy to upgrade the bows inside it, and that does make it an interesting proposition. But again, as stock, it's so nearly what I want it to be, but it's not quite there. Now, they sold nearly 5,000 of these on the Kickstarter, so there must be thousands out there in the wild now. Hopefully some of you are watching this
In the
video.
wild.
I'd love to hear from you down in the comments below. Did your experience mirror mine, or have you had a different one? Is there something you love that I didn't touch upon? Is there something you hate that I didn't touch upon? I'd love to hear from you down in the comments below. But for now, I'll say thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.
Oh, nice.
Two bits of shatter, some free
Yeah.
graham, and one
Nice. Now we will have to stay away from the shatter till tonight.
Oh yeah. No, I won't take it now. That's for sure.
But I'm not against that tonight.
Cool.
If we can, we should grab a little bit of fruits at Tamavo today.
I don't have any money.
Yeah, but I will be cashing my check.
Right.
So like I'm gonna, you know, send you some, but I can, if you want me to, I can use a little bit to just grab some fruits and stuff so that we have something fresh to go with the rest of the food we have.
Yeah. Hi.
Like I'm not talking about spending $70 there.
Okay. Cool.
It's like a few like grapes and stuff, maybe like some onions and stuff to go with the mushrooms that we got.
Did we have 2 bags of mushrooms or onions?
Do we?
I remember when you. I don't know if they're still good, but you had you bought 2 big bags of onions from Tamalo.
We'll take a look. If they're still good, no problem. Then we won't need that.
Cool.
Because yeah, I forgot. See, that's what I mean. Like sometimes I forget about stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, onions usually last pretty good.
Cool.
Thankfully.
I know they're in a green dollar store bag.
Meow. All right. No.
My feet now.
She loves you.
There you go, kitty.
We can also message him and maybe ask if he wants to meet up earlier so we can just get that out of the way and not have
When
to.
did you say we're going to meet?
Originally at 7. And what time is it? Oh, 7 might actually be a good idea by the time we get everything done.
That
Yeah.
should be good. It's like almost 5:30 now.
Yeah. Do you want to check what time the coffee shop closes?
What coffee shop?
The Down East Coffee.
Which one?
The one in Moncton.
Oh.
And or any cafes really. Like I'd like to go for like non Tim Hortons coffee if possible. Wow, wow.
Now this is important for everybody else. No spoilers, please, today. Now that's no spoilers after the event when we talk about what you tasted and what you liked, because I have to go talk about it. You know, that would be good. So no spoilers on social media or any of that kind of stuff. But I'd also ask,
Oh, shoot. Oh, well.
but I would say no spoilers in the chat. If you think you know what something is, write it down. This will be right later on, but don't stick it in the chat until it's time to talk about what we think they are, because you can kind of throw other people off that way and kind of warp their experience by putting words in their head. So please, for today and for the next couple of days at least, no spoilers. Is that okay? Super. So, as we said before, you should have mixed your third wave water. You'll have all got some of this in your little kit, which is very nice. You come in here. I can show you a little closer. Little third wave water kit, little sachet. There you go, very nice. Because we've got multiple camera angles today, that's how we're going to roll. And you should have had your grind sample. So hopefully you know where you're going to grind your coffee today. I'm going to grind mine over.
What's it look like?
But that's not.
I just had to respond to something.
Oh, okay.
You had a spoon or two.
Just mom sent an email.
2 spoons.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, she did Tops Tips.
What?
Tops Tips. She's in the Tops group for weight loss, but
Oh.
it's more or less just they go and they talk about weight loss, but they don't actually do anything. I mean, I love my mom, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah. Like, what's funny is, like, I find that, like, since, you know, like, we've been together, I find that you've actually lost weight. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like we eat a lot of the same things. Like, you're not, we eat a little bit of junk here and there, but, like, in general, you're eating a bit more healthier, right? Because, we're trying to keep it out of the house as much as we can,
yeah.
For me especially, right?
Yeah.
So it just benefits you too.
They're closed.
Oh, it's okay.
5:30.
What else is open? There we go. All finished.
Closed. Holy shit. Are cafes only open till 5?
Might, yeah.
Like,
There's always Starbucks.
yeah.
Worst comes to worst. But
We might have to do Starbucks because
Yeah.
all of these, like Cafe Kodiak 5:30, Clementine Cafe closed, Cognito closed, Downey's Coffee closed, Duo closed, Second Cup, yeah,
C'est la vie as well, probably.
yeah, Jitterbean Cafe closed,
Yeah.
Cafe Urch. I don't know if that's actually a cafe. I think that's a restaurant.
What about that? No, I don't want to bring somebody we don't know at our tea shop.
No,
I don't want to ruin our beautiful.
Starbucks should be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
That'll work.
that or Chai Time.
Chai time? What's that one?
That's where you got the boba tea.
Oh, yes. There's not really any.
Well, there's no coffee. Coffee, it's boba.
Yeah. Well, there is coffee. There's boba coffee. Oh, yeah. There's boba coffee. Yeah.
Yeah, Starbucks is probably your best
Yeah,
bet.
yeah. And there is there's a gingerbread latte I'd kind of like to try. So. Okay, so. Why are you not going down? Go down. There we go. Y'all can always come get me. Jesse. Oh, I'm upside down. Why am I upside down?
Your camera's upside down?
I'm the right angle on here though.
Huh.
Weird.
Weird.
We're meeting someone. So, if you catch my drift. Okay, here you go, guys. Let's see what this looks like. On, obviously, I don't have my bra, but. So obviously it's a bit looser here.
I wonder where Cody disappeared to.
And then obviously
Taking a cat for a walk. Cody.
so you can kind of see. I actually really like how the back looks. Yeah, I kink shame you. And then
Hello, Kitty.
so what do you think though?
It's good.
Like, it's just the collar part that like I don't want to button this for sure.
Did you keep it up or folded?
Oh, it's to be kept up.
Oh.
It's the slightly more like I jokingly call it the slightly more strict matronly like kind of look, but I just kind of liked it. Yeah, so now I just got to do the buttons. The I kink shame you thing is a thing that she always says to me. Yeah.
Oh, is that Jesse?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we're gonna have to let you guys go. We gotta get a few things done and then head out to meet Mom, give her some money, and then go meet that guy. Bye bye.